In this video of Let's Talk Math, we're going to learn what is slope-intercept form. So we have a graph right here, and let's just say we just draw a line, right? Not perfectly straight, right? And every every line has a y-intercept. So let me tell you what a y-intercept is. So this, as you know, is the y-axis, where the line goes through the y-axis, which you see is right here. In this case, that is called the y-intercept, right here, where the line goes through the y-axis, right? Now we can also have now all lines also have a thing called slope. Slope is how much rise over run. Rise over run. Rise over run is basically means how much does it rise and run to the next point. So for example, you run 2 and you rise 1. So here you would have another point. And it kind of looks like a stairway if you draw it like this. Like that. And then you can also go the other way. The rise of the run is a slope. Or you could also say it is what you call a increase or decrease in a line, right? Now, every line also has an equation to go with it. One type of equations that you have that goes with a line is slope. Let's do it in different colors. Slope-intercept form. And that is where y equals mx plus b. Now, m, let's do here, is the slope, because that m always stands for slope. And just to be sure, it is the coefficient with x of x, and b is the y-intercept, where x equals 0. So as for example, in this line, you have right here, this is where the y-intercept is, because x would be 0 right here, or where the line goes through the y-axis. Now, let's just say if you didn't had a slope and intercept form, but you didn't know how to find the slope, like you didn't know this, you did not know that this m meant the slope, but you knew that that was the y-intercept. That meant you knew the line went through that line, but there's an infinite amount of possibilities of how that could have looked like without the slope. You could have had a line like that went like this, right? Or you could have had a line that went like this, or even this. As long as it went through the y-intercept, you wouldn't know for sure of how it would look, right? But let's just say instead, you didn't know that b, the number you add with mx, right? That was the y-intercept. Well, you would know what the slope is, of course, but you wouldn't know exactly where to place it. For example, you would know the slope would be like this, but you wouldn't know exactly where to place it. Right? The increase is exactly the same, but they're two different lines because of where they placed at. So let's go a bit more into this. So we have y equals mx plus b. So we know m is the slope, the rise over the run, you could say rise over the run, the increase of the line, decrease, it doesn't matter. And then where the coefficient with x of x. Then you have here b, that is the y-intercept, where x equals 0, or you could also say where the line goes through y-axis. Right? So let's go just a tiny bit more into the y-intercept. The intercepts are where you go through the y-axis. So let's just draw a quick line. Right? So here we have a line. You have the y-axis, and then you have, let's do here, the x-axis. And where the line goes into the y-axis, that is the y-intercept. Make sure when you're graphing an equation, you never mistake it for the x-intercept, where the line goes into the x-axis. That is a very common mistake. Now that we understand a bit more of the intercepts, we can now do a little exercise to help us graph when you have a slope and a y-intercept. So we have here b, which is the y-intercept, equals 3. So that means that the y-intercept is 3. So that means x equals 0. So we go up 3, and that is right here. Now we have the slope, or m, equals 1. That would be 1 over 1, since rise over run. So let's draw that out. So we go down, we rise 1, we run 1, then we can go the other direction. Run 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1. Right? So now we draw a line through it. And we have now graphed where b equals 3 and the slope is 1. Now let's try problems. First, what we need to do is we need to identify what the slope and y-intercept is. So, to find the y-intercept, what you would do is you would see the number we're adding with x, and that in this case is 2. So we have b, y-intercept equals 2. Now to find the slope, we look at the coefficient with x, which in this case is 4. So m, or the slope, equals 4. We can now graph the equation. First, what we start off with is the y-intercept always, because if we didn't have the y-intercept, right, we wouldn't know where it would go, right? So we have b equals 2, so that would go right here, 1, 2, and then we can now draw the line, m equals 4, that means that is 4 over 1, and since it's rise over run, we rise 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1, we go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1, we can do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and run 1. Now let's draw the line. perfectly straight, but that's fine. And here we have graphed the equation y equals 4x plus 2. Now let's try another problem. We have y equals 1/3 x plus 4. So the coefficient here with x is 1/3, so we have m equals 1/3. We're adding 4, so that means b equals 4. Now, again, we can now use this information to graph the equation. So since b equals 4, we go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since the x equals 0, graph it. And now we draw the slope, which is 1/3. So we rise 1, run 3, rise 1, run 3. Do it here again. Run 3, go down 1, run 3, and go down 1. So we now can draw the line, and we have graphed the equation y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Now that we have graphed this equation, let's review what did we learn today. We learned in the slope-intercept form, the number you are multiplying by the x, the coefficient, is the slope. The number you are adding is the y-intercept. That is all for this video, so please put in the comments below what else you'd like to learn and like this video. I'll also be posting more videos with slopes and y-intercepts, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and check my other videos out. Bye!